Hey guys, today we're finally getting into factoring all the trinomials. So we've been talking about GCF, factoring by grouping, and now we're going to learn how to factor trinomials completely. No matter what it is, we'll be able to factor it. So remember a trinomial, we've got the prefix tri, which means 3. Okay, so a trinomial has 3 terms. 3 terms. Okay, standard form for a trinomial is ax squared plus bx plus c. So that's the form you're really going to see it in a whole lot. Now, this a, b, and c, those are going to be numbers. Okay, and with these numbers, we're going to be creating our own X puzzle. So if you'll remember from when we did our Solve for Y test this 4th 6 weeks, I added on the back some of these X puzzles. So I would give you something that looked like this. Got an X puzzle here. And I would give you this. And you would have to give me these 2 outside pieces right here. You would be filling in these. And if you remember, I would have to find 2 numbers that would multiply to give me 10, but also add to give you 7. And so you would think, okay, 2 plus 5 is 7, and 2 times 5 is 10. So that was your X puzzle. Now, I'm not giving you all of this. You're going to have to set up, and you're going to have to solve your X puzzles. So fun. So what I'm going to give you is this, a trinomial. And you will have to set up and solve your X puzzles from here. So first off, step 1 is to figure out your A, B, and your C. Well, if you look at standard form, it tells you A is the term that's next to x squared. So if I look next to my x squared, there's nothing there. So if there's nothing there, how many x squareds do I have? There's 1, right? So A is 1. Then I go to my next term, which is bx. So b is the number before x. How many x's do we have? We've got 6 x's. And then c is the term all by himself over here. So c is 8. So there's all my terms. And if you look over here, this is going to be our step-by-step process of how to factor. So step number 1, says it right up here, is multiply a times c. And that's how you get the number up here, is by multiplying a times c. So if I come over here, I'm going to take a times c, which is really 1 times 8, which gives me 8, right? So that's the number that I have up on top there, is 8. And I'm going to erase all this just so we can figure out what's happening here. So 8's on top, there's my number on top. And again, all I did was multiply a times c to get this number up here on top. Then I'm looking for step 2. Step 2 is down here. You're writing b down here. So whatever b is, you're just writing it here, and that's how you get the number down below over here. So if I look back at mine, b is just 6. So that's what's going down here, 6. Okay, good so far. Now we're doing the same thing. I got to figure out what goes here and what goes here. What multiplies to 8, but also adds to 6? Well, 2 and 4, right? 2 times 4 gives me 8. 2 plus 4 gives me 6. And this is where we're going to stop today. Tomorrow I'm going to show you how to keep going with the rest of it. We're going to follow and do steps step 3 we just did. We found what factors work. We're going to go down here on day 2 to do step 5 and 6. So this is all we're doing today, is setting up and solving, which is stuff you already know how to do. So again, a is whatever's next to x squared. B is what's next to X. And C is over here by himself. So if I look, I've got 12x squared, negative 16x's, and negative 3 is by himself over here. Okay, then I'm multiplying A times C. So again, A times C. So 12 times negative 3, which gives me negative 36. That's my top number. Then I just bring B down here, which is negative 16. So now I've set up my puzzle. I'm trying to find two numbers that multiply to negative 36, but also add to get negative 16. So since it's a negative, I know I'm going to have negatives in my numbers, but if I have two negatives and I multiply by two negatives, it's going to be a positive. So I know that one of my numbers has to be negative and one of the numbers has to be positive in order for this all to work out and be what we want. So if we think of things that multiply to get to 36, we could have 2 and 18, which I think would work. If I make the 18 negative and the 2 positive, negative 18 times 2 gives me negative 36, and negative 18 plus 2 is going to give me negative 16. So again, we're stopping there. We set up and we solved. That's all we're doing today is this. 3. Again, A is how many x squareds we have, B is how many x's we have, and then C is over here by himself. So I've got 3, 11, and negative 4. A times C is really 3 times negative 4, which is negative 12. So that number negative 12. And I just bring down 11. And I'm going to see what multiplies to negative 12, but also adds to positive 11. Well, the only thing that kind of sticks out to me is 12 and 1. So I need a positive 12 and a negative 1, because 12 times negative 1 is negative 12. And then 12 plus negative 1 is 11. Okay. So far, so good. Always want to look and see if there's a GCF that you can take out of your trinomial first. So if I look at number 4, I notice I can take a 2 out of everything. So if I were to take a 2, it would really be c squared minus 7c minus 18 would be the new trinomial. And when we're doing this, all I want you to look at is this part. Ignore that 2 part of it. So again, I'm going to do 1 times negative 18, a times c, gives me negative 18, and then bring down that negative 7. So then if I'm trying to figure out what multiplies to negative 18 and adds to negative 7, I'm going to have negative 9 and 2, right? Negative 9 times 2 is negative 18. Negative 9 plus 2 is negative 7. And there we have it. If we go down to this one, there's nothing I can take out of all of these besides a 1, which everything I can take 1 out of. So I'm just going to solve this one like normal. 1 times negative 27 is negative 27. Bring down the 6. What multiplies to negative 27 but also adds to 6? And I'm going to say 9 and negative 3. 9 times negative 3 is negative 27. And 9 plus negative 3 is 6. And again, you can always list what multiplies to 27 over here. 1 and 27, 2 and nothing, 3 and 9. Like, you can list all these things, and then you can kind of see what two numbers would work, and you would see, oh, 3 and 9 is going to be my go-to there. This one, again, I can take stuff out of it. I'm going to take a 2 out. So now it's really 2, 6k squared minus 11k plus 4. So again, I'm going to ignore that 2. 6 times 4 is 24. And then negative 11. So I've got to multiply to 24. I'm thinking 8 times 3. And I'm going to make those negative because a negative times a negative gives me that positive 24, but a negative plus a negative is going to give me that negative 11. So again, always get that GCF if you can. This one, there's no GCF, so 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Bring down the negative 1. And I'm going to say negative 4 times 3. Positive 3 gives me negative 12, and negative 4 plus 3 gives me negative 1. And again, this is where we're stopping today. You should have all of your X puzzles set up and made. So you have a practice sheet. It looks like this. And what I need you to do for homework is to create your X puzzles. I need these done for tomorrow. If you don't have these done for tomorrow, it's going to make life a whole lot more difficult. So again, setting up the X puzzles. I've got 1 times 12, and then bring down the 8. And I know 6 and 2. That's all you're doing is setting up these X puzzles. That way tomorrow, everything's ready to go. This is the hardest part of it. If you can do this, tomorrow's going to be a breeze. But if all these aren't set up, tomorrow's not going to be fun. So this is what I need you to do for homework tonight, is set up all of those X puzzles. And you're just A times C goes up here, and then B is down here by itself, and you're figure out what multiplies it to the A times C and what adds to the B at the bottom. That's all I need you to do. Okay, guys, I'll see you tomorrow for day 2.